So today we are going to be doing our third soap in the winter holiday collection, and this one is a really fun one, and we are going to be doing a gingerbread soap today. I've never done gingerbread before, so let's get started and I will show you guys how I made this soap.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop in here real quick and let you know I am running a Black Friday Cyber Monday sale on my Etsy shop on all of my soaps. You can get 20% off purchases $20 or more in the United States. The sale is running from midnight Central Standard Time on Thursday, November 25th, and it runs till Monday, November 29th. So if there have been any soaps you have been eyeing, now is definitely the time to shop. Have fun shopping.
Okay everyone, I have my lye water solution here and I have my base oils here. So we are going to start as always by mixing our lye solution into the oil. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. Today we're going to be doing a 3-color layered soap. I haven't done a layered soap in a little bit, so kind of want to give a break from all the swirl soaps, so I thought this would be a good design for this one. Now this one I am not going to add the fragrance oil to this yet because there is going to be a layer that I will not be adding fragrance to, so I'm going to start by blending this. I'm going to keep this super light because I do want to be able to control the trace of it, so we're just going to barely get this to emulsion. Okay, so I am just going to kind of eyeball this. It doesn't have to be exact, but I do kind of want to keep it kind of close to equal thirds. Okay, and that is pretty much good for me. We're going to leave this large one. We're going to set that one aside for now, and that one is going to be our last layer. So we're going to start with these two. I have my fragrance oil here. Today I did a 50-50 blend of Nature's Garden graham cracker with peanut butter cookie from Nature's Garden. So that is a 50-50 blend, and it's not going to be added to the third layer, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do these about half and half. All right, and then I'm just going to give this a quick little mix here so that fragrance oil gets incorporated. Okay, and I'm gonna set this one off to the side for now. We're gonna work on just this one. So for this color, I am using dark brown iron oxide. This one is from Jessica Bay Ink. Again, the company doesn't exist anymore. So I am just going to add this in to there. Okay, and I'm gonna mix this up thoroughly and get that brown pigment all nicely incorporated. I'm gonna pour just a little bit back in my cup just to kind of get some more of that color out of there, just so I'm not wasting any of this. Okay, so this is gonna be the first layer of our soap, and I want this to actually be a little bit thicker, so I'm going to just stick blend it really quickly just to get this one to set a little bit quicker so I don't have to wait as long with doing the layers. Give this a quick little mix. Okay, got that blended up a little bit. Now we are going to pour this into the mold, so nothing fancy here. This is just gonna be a straight pour. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour this into the mold and get that all in there. And I'm gonna completely scrape this out because I don't wanna leave any of the batter. Okay, I have pretty much scraped that clean. So this is gonna be our first layer. I'm just gonna kind of tap that out just a little bit to level it. So I'm gonna let this set up because we're gonna texture this layer. And while I'm waiting for that to set up, I am gonna go ahead and start putting in my colorant for this one. So this layer is gonna be a slightly lighter brown. I use the same color, the dark brown iron oxide, but I mixed a little bit of Desert Sage from TKB Trading with it just to kind of lighten it up a bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna mix up this color and get that thoroughly incorporated. And we're gonna let that layer set. Hopefully this one will set up pretty quickly so I can texture it and get to pouring this one before this one gets too thick. So I'm just gonna let this one sit. I don't want to accelerate this one at all just yet. I wanna make sure I get the other layer nice and ready to pour this one. So we're gonna set that one aside. Okay, I've let this set for just a couple minutes and it's probably still a little bit soft, but I think it might be thick enough to kind of hold a little bit of a texture. So we can always just test that and see, and if it needs more time, we'll let it set longer. I'm just using a plastic spoon and I'm not really doing anything that crazy. I'm just kind of creating like these little divots in it just so it's not like a perfectly flat soap. I do think this is still just a little bit soft, so I'm just gonna kind of play around with it for now and probably do a little bit more texturing in a minute once it kind of starts to set just a little bit more. just gonna kind of have fun. I don't really do this too often, but this is a really fun technique, and I don't know why I don't do it more often, but it's kind of fun just to like play with it and like kind of see what kind of shapes you can make or what kind of textures you can do. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun. And while we're letting that layer set, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the third and final layer. Now this is the one that I'm not be adding fragrance to. And the reason why is because it would discolor it, and I want to keep this a lighter color. I want to kind of have like a 3-tone bar, so I definitely want to just kind of let the natural color of this soap come through with just a helping, just a little helping of like a tan to kind of help stabilize the color. Sometimes I feel if you add just a tiny bit of a color, it will kind of give you a more even color. So the color for this one is mostly just a little bit of Desert Sage from TKB Trading with just a splash of titanium dioxide in there, just to lighten it up just a hair. Okay, and then once I mix this one up, you'll see it just barely colors the soap batter. Most of this is really just the actual color from the base oils. Okay, and if I put all the colors together, you can kind of see the color progression. So we got the bottom is the darkest, the middle is going to be that lighter brown, and then the top is going to be this just kind of like creamy tan kind of color. Okay, I think I'm about ready to pour the next layer. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little impatient, but I think that it will hold just fine. And again, this one does not have to be like a perfect kind of texture or shape to it. It's just very natural, organic. So if there's any little imperfections, it will not bother me too much. Now, if I was doing like a sculpted layer, I would want it to definitely completely sit up before I pour the next layer, but we're not doing that today. Okay, so we got our second layer, and again, we're just gonna do like a really simple pour. I am gonna kind of break the fall just a little bit with my spatula, just to kind of help disperse some of that weight a little bit more evenly. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at doing this. I'm not very coordinated using both hands at once, so it is a little bit difficult for me. Okay, but now that I got that in, I'm just gonna pour all the rest of this in here. And again, I'm gonna completely scrape my container out because I'm not saving any of this batter. Okay, now I did get a little bit on the sidewall here. I do wanna kind of like clean that up just a little bit. If it's on like this side or this side, I don't really care too much because those are the end pieces and they're gonna get cut off. But since this is on the sidewalls of it, it is gonna show on the bars. Again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna let this set up just enough until it will start to kind of hold a shape, and then we'll texture it. Okay, so I textured this layer a little bit more. Ideally, I would let this set for a little bit longer to firm up, but I'm a little impatient. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour the third layer. So this one, I'm not gonna agitate this one or mix it up at all. I'm just gonna let this one go as it is. And I'll try to break the fall just a little bit on this one since it is a little soft on here, but overall I'm not too worried about it. And just gonna pour this all into here. Okay, you know the drill. We're gonna put a little bit of cardboard under here to level this out just a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing up the frosting. Okay, I have the frosting here. I didn't color it, so this is just the natural color of the soap. I did the same fragrance oil. The only thing is I feel like this is not thick enough yet. I feel like I want to let this sit longer, but I've already been letting this sit a while. I'm gonna do like a little test and see if I can pipe it the way I want. I can, but it is just a hair softer than I'd like, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of waiting, so I'm gonna just start piping this and hopefully it will sit up enough. That is the piping done. It was a little bit soft, but overall it does seem to be holding its shape pretty well. Okay, and these are the embeds. I'm gonna try doing it from this angle again. Hopefully this will be all right. I haven't reviewed the other video that I filmed it like this, so I'm hoping this works. But these are my embeds, and you might notice I have some gingerbreads and I have these little kind of like biscuits for the other embed. And you might notice, why are all of your gingerbread men cut in half? And I have two reasons for this. Number one, since these are pushed into the frosting, sometimes it's not necessary to have all of the gingerbread because it's not seen. And the second reason was because I actually ran out of the melt and pour base that I was using, and I didn't want to mix up more. So I decided to chop off the little arm and legs out of all of them and came up with just enough to finish up with the gingerbread men. Okay, so since I cut them this way, obviously all of my little gingerbread men are going to go in at this angle. So I'm gonna stick those in, and obviously you can't tell that they've been chopped at all. So it's kind of like a little easy trick if you are wanting to either conserve a little bit of your melt and pour, or if you need to extend it a little, you know, you can cut off the pieces that are not going to be necessarily that obvious. Typically I would just leave it be, but obviously I was running a little bit low on melt and pour, so I kind of had to get a little creative with it. So I'm just gonna start by putting all my little gingerbread men in first. And I don't really feel like doing any glitter or any drizzles on this one. I just want to kind of let this one be. Not every single soap has to be drizzled and glittered and everything, so I like to leave some just a little bit more minimalistic. So that's what I decided to do for today. Okay, and our last couple gingerbread men, I'm trying to like push them in so they'll stay in pretty well, but I don't want them to get too far pushed in. So okay, so those are all the little gingerbread men, and now I'm going to turn it this way, and these are just kind of supposed to be like a generic little piece of gingerbread. So I made them with like a little biscuit mold, and then I just cut all of them in half because I didn't need the full biscuit. So I think overall this looks pretty cute, and it gets across the gingerbread theme. And yeah, I like this one a lot. Sometimes I really like a little bit more of a simplistic design, which is definitely what I wanted to go with this one. And I liked that I did the layered soap for this one because I have been doing a lot of swirls lately. I know I've been going swirl crazy, and that's just because like I haven't done too many of them before I started like filming making soap videos, and now I'm just like wanting to test out all these swirls and kind of see like what kind of different patterns I can come up with and things like that. So I've just been going really swirl crazy lately, but I like that so far every one that I have done in this soap collection has been a different type of bar. So obviously the first one I did do a swirl. I couldn't not do a swirl. Then the second one I did was a confetti soap, and then this one is a layered soap. I'm not gonna lie, I do not have my final Christmas soap finalized yet, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is how all the little gingerbread soaps look. I think that this is so cute. I like how simple it is. It's nothing crazy, nothing over the top, and I am very, very happy with this. So we are gonna let it set for a few days, and we will come back and unmold and cut them up and see what the inside looks like. Okay everyone, here is the soap. I have unmolded it, and you may notice the soap frosting of this is quite a bit darker than it was a few days ago. It obviously discolored from the fragrance oil that I used, but I knew it was going to happen, so that is fine with me. I knew it would probably end up about this kind of color, so overall I do not mind at all. We are going to go ahead and cut this open and see what it looks like, and here you can kind of see from the side the little layers here, so hopefully we got like a really cool texture going on. Okay, as always I have my cheese cutter here, and we are going to cut our soaps, and I'm going to turn these on its side, makes it for a little bit easier cutting, and I'm going to line it up. We're going to start off by cutting just a little sliver off the end here. Okay, and we are going to make our first cut here. All right, and here is what this bar of soap looks like. You can see the frosting, you can see the color it used to be. We're gonna give it a couple minutes and we'll come back and check this one and I will show you how much it discolors. But I really like the texture in between the layers. I wanted just a little bit, I didn't want anything crazy, but this is exactly what I was wanting. And I am so happy with this. Oh, I think it's so cute. I cut a few minutes ago. It's already starting to change a little bit. This is one I just cut. I will definitely have to give this a couple hours and it will completely change back to the color that the rest of the frosting is. So you can definitely see just how much that color discolors. So this is how the soap turned out. I just love doing layered soaps. They're very fun and sometimes I get in a rut and I'll do swirl soaps all the time, but a nice layered soap is so fun and so elegant in a very like minimalistic type of way. I really wanted to go a little bit more understated with the soap, because not everybody loves glitter and everything crazy, and I think that this is a really good option for those that like a sweet kind of bakery type scent but doesn't necessarily want glitter all over them in the shower. I feel like men would definitely appreciate this one as well. But this soap is of course for anyone who would enjoy it. This soap will be available on Saturday, December 4th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I will have a link to my Etsy shop below where you can purchase this once it goes live. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. Link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.